Hey, what's up, everyone? I thought now that Terraria's been out for 13 years now. Hard to believe the game's been out for 13 years now. But yeah, with the game now having had its 13-year anniversary a couple months ago, I believe, um, and which was pretty cool because on that anniversary, I think they allowed people to play the older version of Terraria. I don't quite remember exactly what version it was. I just know if you have it on PC, you were able to play an older version of the game, and with the news that there is going to be another update on the game, which is crazy to believe that 13 years later they have another update in the works right now. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy if we do see that update. I will obviously make a video about it. But I thought, yeah, let's go ahead and make a review video about whether or not the amount of enjoyment I had of the game was just nostalgia. Was it really that good of a game? It's just nostalgia speaking about the game, or is it just the fact that I played the game with my friends that made it fun? And I, after having played it for my first ever time by myself, and um, on PC, on keyboard and mouse, I'd say, yeah, it was not nostalgia. It was not the fact that I played with friends. It was not the fact that I played on a old Xbox 360 um, down controller, which was something I'm comfortable with. It was just the fact that the game is actually just that good. I didn't think I was gonna have as much fun as I did, considering the game is now 13 years old. Many games that are 13 years old, I will refuse to touch, honestly, because the graphics are just that bad. But no, it was a lot of fun. Uh, the gameplay is still really amazing and surpasses, I believe, the standards of today, considering games are coming out and compete nowadays. And just the fact that this game came out complete whenever they did launch the game, yeah, I would say it surpasses today's standards easily. Um, and just the fact that there's a lot of content, a lot of things you can do in the game. You know, you don't have to exactly grind the game for gear and to fight the bosses like I usually play the game. If you don't want to play the game that way, you just want to build structures in a 2D world, you can do that too. Or if you want to build a little town for your NPCs, you can do that too. Um, but I mean, yeah, the game, good gameplay, lots of content, and then different ways you can play the game, as in not exactly endings or anything like that, like you have in what's it called, Elden Ring or something like that. But more so the fact that there's different classes in the game, which is crazy to believe. Like you see this 2D game, it's like what? There's classes in the game, really? It looks kind of how do you say? Sorry. It looks kind of nuts. Not the type of game you'd see classes in, but yeah, there's classes. So if you want to play as a mage, you can use magical weapons and play as a mage. If you want to use weapons, as in like guns or bow and arrows, basically projectiles, uh, there's a class for that called Ranger. You can use that class. Um, if you want to play the just melee weapons, you wanna get up close to the boss and you know, fight them hand to hand in a way. There's a class for that too. It's called melee. That's the class I chose for this playthrough because all the other playthroughs were either just using every weapon in the game, or I played mage. That's what I usually played as. So I thought I'd do something different, and I do melee, which is what I did in the background footage. Or you can play if you don't feel like fighting the boss, basically, and you're kind of lazy. You don't feel like fighting the boss yourself. You want someone else to do it for you. There's a class for that too. It's called a summoner. You can summon NPCs to fight for you. Uh, really like pets, really, I guess. NPCs, pets, whatever you would call them, you can have them fight for you, which is honestly something I think I want to try one day, because I've never tried that before. I've only ever, picked OP classes, like I said earlier, mage, or just use whatever weapon you want, which is not a class technically, but like it was my first ever time playing the game, and I didn't expect there to be classes. Okay, uh, so yeah, four different class of weapons you can use for the game. You don't have to worry about stats. That's not a thing in the game. If you want to be a summoner, just get the weapons and armor for it. If you want to be melee weapon or mage or whatever, just, all you need is the armor for it and the weapons for it. That's it. And obviously a couple of the attachments for it. If I opened my inventory, maybe, yeah. So it went by really fast, but if you saw in the inventory on the right, that's where you can put your armor. And then I'm just gonna call them attachments because I'm not entirely sure what they're actually called. If I find out, they're on screen right now. That's what they're called. But that's kind of what you attach onto your character to either make your character stronger for the type of class you're doing, or just to have like wings or things that make moving easier. So there's that. But yeah, wasn't nostalgia. It's just an actually well built game with tons of content, tons of things to do, uh, tons of ways to customize how your character looks, tons of ways to fight the bosses without throughout the game, or if you don't want to fight the bosses, you don't have to. It's just the perfect game. I have no complaints for it. Not a single thing I could think of that really annoyed me about the game. Really, there wasn't anything tedious about it. Um, you're even able to change the difficulty, which in sometimes I don't enjoy being able to change the difficulty, and then in other ways it's okay. Like with this game, I think it's okay because if you want to have an actual struggle fighting these bosses, an actual challenge, you can. Or if you're someone who's just casual, you just want to get on, play the game, and chill out, uh, lower the difficulty. I completely get it. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And oh, I guess you can also say that if you choose a higher difficulty, you're basically choosing a game that doesn't hold your hands really, because you have to use the Terraria wiki quite a bit. I do have to admit that to know uh, what's the progression for each class and what's the potions best for your class and the attachments best for your class. So in a way, it doesn't hold your hands there, which I think is kind of nice that they did, especially for a game 13 years old now. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the review. The game's perfect. It's lots of fun. It wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't the fact that I played the game with friends. It was just a good game that launched complete. Um, with a couple updates down the road that kind of made quality life better. I have to admit that. But still, amazing game. You'll have lots of fun with it. Go buy it if you have the money for it now. If you don't, obviously, pretty cheap for a content-filled game. And yeah, it's sad to see that this next update may be the last update. But the fact that we got to experience a game like this, not only me, but all the other people that stuck with it for 13 years, um, glad it existed. It's a game worth putting in the Hall of Legends or whatever you would call it for legendary games like this. So yeah, go have fun with it. If you decide to buy it, or if this was more like a video of yep confirming that this game was awesome. There you go. There's your confirmation. The game was awesome. The game was fun. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about a game that was perfect and has lasted for 13 years straight to bring tons of enjoyment to everyone. Hope to make another video soon. I don't know how soon, but we'll see. But yeah, I will see everyone in the next one.